Hi guys, while the focus has been on the royal funeral and King Charles taking over from his mother, the mourning period and the impact it's having on the UK, it must be remembered that many people are currently struggling and have been waiting a long time for real support. Liz Truss, the new Prime Minister, is planning to freeze energy prices not at the current cap of £1,971, but at about £2,100 after a £400 support package from the previous government is factored in. This does little to nothing to help people struggling now, but one industry that is booming is pawn shops. Here Channel 4 covered how people are handing over prized possessions for cash to pay bills.
Pawnbrokers have their fingers on the nation's financial pulse. We know what's happening before the news and the media pick it up, because we see day to day people struggling before we kind of get either the really wealthy that might need a bridging loan very quickly because a deal's not come through, or we would have working class clients. Now we're seeing the middle class who normally would be able to cope day to day. They're using us to pay their bills.
Was it an engagement ring?
It is.
Absolutely lovely.
Alison Mainwell's husband worked in finance but has just been made redundant, so she's come in to find out how much she'd get if she pawned her engagement ring.
Right. If we loaned you £1,500, the interest would be 6%. Okay, so that would be £90 on top each month.
Mrs. Mainwell would have up to 7 months to buy back the ring. The total interest would be £630.
£60 a month on top of that. It's quite a bit, isn't it?
The Pawnbrokers is on the edge of Sheffield city centre. The local council recently announced it'll be setting up warm banks here to help people this winter. Over a cup of tea, Mrs. Mainwell told me why she was thinking of pawning her engagement ring.
How much are your bills going up by?
Well, from £120 a month to £200 for my gas, water rates, council tax. Everything's just going up and up and up, but you're not getting any more
Coming
in.
It's quite sad, isn't it? Because that's your engagement ring.
Yeah, it is sad. I feel emotional. Might have a little cry when I get home because 20 years, you know.
As we talked, the television played images of the procession to move the Queen's coffin in London.
You're seeing how much is going on something like that to what everybody else is going through. Like rubbing it in kind of thing, that they've got all that money for funerals and stuff, and everybody's on breadline at the moment.
It's estimated that it will cost about £6 billion, the funeral. That includes closing down pretty much half the country for one entire day. Now, when she said it feels like it's been, they're rubbing it in, I don't know if it's intentional, but it definitely looks that way. You have this pomp and ceremony that's costing huge amounts of money. You have private jets bringing people over to the UK to attend this funeral, and you have a lady here after 20 years of marriage is deciding, okay, I need to pawn this ring in order to get some cash to pay bills. This is not to go on a holiday. This is not to buy a new car. This is just to pay bills. And sadly, I don't think she's going to get, I hope I'm wrong, of course, on this, but I don't think she's going to get that ring back because she has to pay £650 in interest. These pawnbrokers offer a service, and that service comes at a massive cost, both emotionally and economically. But the fact that they exist and that they're booming is clear that there is a recession coming and people are struggling. Now, I've heard on the radio, LBC, there was somebody calling in who, to my belief, in my opinion, is probably a Tory party supporter, pretending that, yeah, everything's fine. I don't understand why people are complaining. I don't understand why people are struggling. I'm on a very low income and I'm able to feed my family and pay the bills and put new shoes on my kids and whatever. You'll always hear these people calling in, and I don't believe that they're real. this is real. You know, you have the pawnbrokers talking about how they have their finger on the pulse, and he's correct. Be it working class, middle class, or upper class. He knows who's struggling at the moment. He knows who is able to pay their bills and who isn't. And the things that they bring in, you know, people are pushed into a desperate situation. The emotional connection people have to jewelry or items in their home that they realize this thing can help me pay the bills. Maybe I'll be able to get it back someday. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. And finally, in the report, they talked about the council opening warm banks. Once again, this is something that was introduced to me recently. I had no idea that they actually existed or that there was a plan for them. I didn't know what the hell they were. Warm banks. Places for people to go to keep warm during the winter. This is the Tory legacy. This is the consequence of voting for Boris Johnson and the Tories. They don't care about you. They never will. They never have. And until people realize that, nothing is going to change. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.